Alright, let's review what we talked about in the last lesson.
The main objective of the last lesson was to open a personal line of credit at your current bank. And then you were to have your loan officer set it up as an overdraft protection to your checking account.
With any new process, there's a subtle heightened awareness. This is no exception. By now, you should be acutely aware of what's coming in and out of your checking account. Now that you got your new financial framework set up, we're going to be taking baby steps for you to feel comfortable using this new product. You don't go from being a new grad to expert in just a few days. Nor do you begin lifting heavy weights without starting out with smaller, safer weights. So too with this system. You must take small, actionable, and calculated steps to be comfortable with the system. All you have to do is follow the framework that I've laid out for you. Using the Honest Budget worksheet, we're going to identify all of your debts and their account numbers. That's anything from your student loans, credit cards, car loans, everything. And I want you to rank them from the smallest to the largest. For right now, don't worry about which ones have the biggest percentage rate, because we're going to be using a debt repayment strategy called the snowball strategy. This method focuses on paying down your smallest debt balance before moving on to larger ones. The snowball method is about building momentum as you pay off debt. Think of a small snowball rolling down a snowy mountain. As it rolls down the mountain, it picks up more and more snow, getting bigger and bigger. It begins by attacking the smallest debt with a vengeance. Let's say you have $200 extra to go towards debt, and your smallest debt is a credit card with a balance of $400. It has a minimum payment of $40 a month. Instead of paying the minimum, you'll use that entire $200 to pay it off in 2 months. And at the end of paying it off, you freed up an extra $40 per month. Now, instead of taking that $40 and just spending it on things, you're going to take that $40 and put it into your overall cash flow. So now you're going to have $240 to attack the next smallest loan. Like a snowball rolling down that mountain, your $200 snowball turned into $240 snowball.
And it will get bigger and bigger as you pay off more and more debts.
For now, let's take note of your 3 smallest debts because we're going to attack those ones first. You're going to want to get their account number and billing address. And if you haven't already, let's make an online bill for each one. We can follow the steps that we learned in the free crash course. The video will be provided towards the bottom of this lesson. Now, let's take a step backwards to take a look at our accounts. I want you to take note of what's in your checking and in your savings accounts. For this masterclass, we're going to say that we have $5,000 in our checking and $10,000 in our savings account. And we haven't even used our personal line of credit yet. So, for baby step number 1, it's going to sound a little bit counterintuitive, but this is where your savings account is going to come into play, and it's going to help you better understand the full process as a whole. Your first baby step is going to slide all of your money from your checking account into your savings account. The main reason why you're going to do this is threefold. First, I want you to feel safe knowing that your money is still 100% in your bank. By doing it this way, you will maintain 100% control of your hard-earned money. It isn't going anywhere. And if at any point you feel uncomfortable, you can slide the money right back into your checking account and return to the traditional banking methods. Second, you're going to want a zero balance in your checking account. And 3, once you've zeroed out your checking account, you're going to want to test the overdraft protection on your personal line of credit. Baby step number 2 is actually testing out the personal line of credit overdraft protection. This is going to challenge the second core principle, accessibility of resources. This will officially test to see if your loan officer properly set up the relationship between your personal line of credit and your checking account. making it an official sweeps account. And it'll apply just a little bit towards your debt, $1 to be exact. What you can expect is a set amount to transfer from your personal line of credit into your checking. For example, my bank sends increments of $100. So even though I overdrafted by $1, they're going to send over $100. So my remaining balance is going to be $99, and my personal line of credit balance will be $100, plus that $1 is being sent to a bill. The whole process should look something like this.
That went by a little too quick because everything happened simultaneously. Let's take a slower look at it. This time, we'll go step by step. First, we're going to write a check for $1 from your checking account, which has a balance of $0. Second, because your checking account is linked to your personal line of credit, it uses that account to pay for transactions that would have otherwise triggered an overdraft fee. It converts the credit into real cash, allowing you to pay for all of your bills.
And here's a disclaimer. If the relationship between your checking and your personal line of credit aren't set up, you'll likely be charged an overdraft fee. At that point, you should contact the bank immediately. If this happens, here's what you should do. First, slide the money from your savings account back to your checking account. 2, call the bank to have the charge reversed because they didn't set it up properly. 3, speak to the loan officer to properly connect the personal line of credit to your checking account via overdraft protection. And baby step 2.5, what just happened? Essentially, your checking account is protected by your personal line of credit. The credit transferred into your checking account, converting the credit into real cash. Then, since it was converted into real cash, it was sent from your checking account to the debt and accepted by the account holder or whoever you're going to pay. That's why I'm able to pay my student loans and my rent. It's real cash. And a big disclaimer here. Since this is a liquid asset, it has the risk of being used inappropriately. That is why I'm very, very adamant that you overdraft no more than your honest number, even if your personal line of credit is at a maximum of $100,000.
Let's recap the main objectives of this course. Baby step number 1 is to slide all of your money from your checking account into your savings account. That way you maintain 100% control over your hard-earned money. And equally important, you're leaving your checking account at a balance of $0. And baby step number 2, you're purposely testing the mechanism of overdraft protection of your personal line of credit by writing a $1 check towards your smallest debt.